So you've built a good life, maybe even you've read some pretty hefty and serious books. You lift heavy things at the gym and you work hard and you care about your faith. You're responsible and actually you like being competent. And yet somehow when you look at your life, it doesn't all feel joined up. You're doing the right things, but something still feels kind of off. In this video today, I want to show you why that happens, why managing the traditional, what they call the 8 areas of the wheel of life, is not the same thing as becoming whole. And I want to explain why optimization might even be damaging your inner world and then the impacts that has on in the outer world, and how something as ordinary as a notebook here can help you to start feeling like yourself again. Because the issue in all this isn't that you lack ambition, it's that your attention never gets the chance to settle. And maybe over the years, maybe like myself, you've said it's maybe ADHD, which we have diagnosed ourselves. But actually, I've realized it's the water in which we're swimming in and actually how we're swimming in it. Now, most of the advice you hear about living a balanced life assumes one picture. It is that life is actually a wheel. And there is elements such as career, your health, relationships, money, spirituality, hobbies, there's some other stuff. It's all in neat little segments, and the goal is to keep the wheel round. You don't let one area go flat. Everything has to keep spinning. But I think that picture hides something important. You can have a perfectly round wheel, but still feel like your life is coming apart. It's almost like the wheel's coming off the wagon, because you don't live inside a wheel. You live inside your own mind, and your problem isn't that the segments are uneven. Your problem is that inside your mind, it is messy and distracted. There's a tension between what you do and what you want to do, between the man that you feel that you are and the man that you keep acting like. And that tension is what I mean by lack of integration. So integration isn't about being good at everything. It's when your inner world stops fighting itself, your thoughts, your desires, and your actions. It's when they stop pulling in different directions like 3 men fighting over a steering wheel, and they begin to line up behind one driver going in one direction. So why do we find this so hard in 2026? Well, I think it is because our attention is being constantly broken into pieces. Just think about this scenario. You pick up your phone to reply to a message, and 15 minutes later, you have looked at 3 articles, partially. You've watched a reel, you've checked your banking app, you've opened your email, and now you can't even remember why you picked up your phone in the first place. Or maybe you're in a restaurant with your family, but your mind is stuck on a work email you got earlier that day. Or maybe you are in work and you're sitting at your desk and you're just feeling the itch to check Instagram again. And this is one for me. Every time I try to pray or I think or want to read, I find that my mind feels like a browser with 20 open tabs and all of them playing some sort of music. So modern life, I think, has trained us to live in a state of perpetual activation, always stimulated and just never still. And, I think we've become so out of whack, so mixed up in all this, that if we do try and sit still for a moment, we're almost thinking that we're doing something wrong or that we're missing out on life. We are alert to everything, but yet we're present to nothing. And here's the crucial thing. If your attention is fragmented, your life is going to be fragmented also, no matter how balanced that big wheel looks like on paper. So the way back to integration is not to manage things more carefully or cleverly. And this is why optimization isn't the answer. The answer, I believe, is to make every effort to reclaim your attention. You need a place where your mind is allowed to move at the speed of a normal human being again, where you can lay things out one at a time and decide what is going to rule my life and what isn't. And for that, I want you to use something very expensive and take out a subscription. Now, I'm only joking. All I'm talking about here, friends, is a simple notebook. Not an app, not a new system, not even a second brain like Evernote or OneNote or Notion. It's a cheap, plain notebook and a pen that writes relatively smoothly, I guess. Think of it as a small private oasis that you can carry with you on your person or in your bag. And here's what I want you to do every day. I want you to sit at a table and make sure your phone or any other digital tether is in another room. I want you to open your notebook, and on the top of the page, I want you to write today's date. Underneath, write, what is loud in my head right now? Then line by line, write down things that are shouting for your attention. It could be, I'm bothered by that unfinished project in one of our new markets, or I am pulled towards making something decent out of this YouTube channel, or I'm worried about my family, or maybe I'm ashamed about something I've done or something I haven't done. Most importantly, don't try to organize, don't try to judge, just get it all out of your head and onto a page. And when you're done, look at the list. And I want you to circle one line, just one. That's the thing you're going to give ordered attention to for the next 5 minutes. Maybe you write the next action you need to take, or maybe you clarify what you're actually afraid of, or maybe you simply admit the truth about what you want. But whatever it is, for those 5 minutes, your attention is not scattered. It's not being yanked around by various notifications. It is being gathered like light through a lens onto a single point. And this, my friend, is how you build integration, by giving your attention to one thing at a time in line with what matters most. Now, over time, if you do this daily, I think you'll find that the notebook will become more than paper. It becomes almost like the hub around which your life will move. You won't necessarily look at what you've written again, but it is a reassuring tool that you keep with you, that you use routinely, that allows you to express your thoughts on paper and to gain some clarity about life. And it's not because the notebook is pretty or optimized or color-coded. That would be my daughter's notebook. But it's because it becomes a place where you slow down, you tell the truth, and you decide who is actually in charge of your mind. That is what integration is. Not some perfectly manicured wheel of life, but a man whose inner world is no longer at war with itself. So if you like what we're doing here, please give me a thumbs up, maybe even subscribe. And what I value most is, if you have any thoughts on what we are saying here today, please put it in the comments. Let me know what you're thinking. Catch you in the next one.